the category is positioned around men's perfume being the source that kind of attracts women.
I think it's a fuck all idea.
Now what are these brands saying? Hey, I'm going to give you Tom Ford, but for $9.99. It's essentially you are not going to be able to get this woman till you have my product. So I was wondering where this is going, which to me is a great place for an ad to be. It's a great hook.
Yeah.
I think creatively whoever has done this, brilliant.
You could be using a fake one. No one's gonna know. We should review more ads. I think this is fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of This Living Room. What are we doing?
We are going to be reviewing an ad that we haven't seen before.
Okay, so the way we will do this is that I'll pick the category,
Yeah.
you'll pick a brand.
Okay.
We both haven't seen the ad before.
No.
We're going to watch it together
We just want to go onto YouTube and search.
and search. We'll find one ad
Yeah.
and then
We'll talk about what we like about it, what we don't like about
what
it,
we
and
don't like about
perhaps what the brief was.
it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay,
Category.
men's deodorants.
Okay. Men's deodorants. I'm not going to say Axe. What are the Wildstone is there? Then Denver is there.
Fog. Why men's deodorants? Because I had a conversation with Krish in the morning, so that's the first category that came to my mind. Not Axe. Let's not do Axe.
Should we do Wildstone?
Okay. By the way, I just submitted a pitch to one of the other company brands of Wildstone, McEnroe Group.
Yeah. Wildstone ad.
Deodorant.
New. आ जाएगा.
Featuring the man of code. Let's watch this man. It's got a celeb as well. Or let's do two. One year ago and one 4 years ago. One with celeb, one without celeb.
Okay, let's watch this. Wildstone. Kunal.
Is back. Oh, by the way, when new films were made in GSK, there were certain way films were shown.
Which is?
Okay, so in the conference room, a TV was called because no projector, TV, large.
Yeah, I know. Even in Honda.
TV. The entire marketing team gathered
Yeah.
and the film was shown. Okay, so the protocol was you watch the film twice. Okay, dim
Correct.
lights.
Yeah.
Then the third time you saw it muted.
You saw it muted.
Yes. And then once more you saw the film. Then the lights were turned on. And then everybody was asked to give feedback. Right? If you were an intelligent young brand manager,
But what feedback will you give on a film that's already done?
know what you liked, what you didn't like, etc. etc.
There's no changes.
No
kind of.
changes. As in done film, final film. Right? If you're an intelligent brand manager, you would shut the fuck up over there. I wasn't that guy. I would shut it. I think this. Very bad idea. Especially not someone else's brand, right? Offended so many people.
Yeah. We're watching something which is made 8 years ago on YouTube. Wildstone, Kunal is back. 40 seconds.
Yeah, so that could be.
Hello? Hi.
Hi. What a pleasant surprise.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Mama बहुत strict है, so just... Mama? This is my friend Kunal.
Hello.
Hi,
आंटी आप लोग कौन?
Meenakshi. You can call me Meenakshi.
आपका?
No, thank you. It's good.
हेलो सर.
लोग तो नोटिस करेंगे. Wildstone Deos for men.
Okay, do you want to do the GSK way and watch it?
Yeah. Wait. I think this is a series.
क्या हो रहा है? हाय सर. चल रहा है. एंजॉय कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो? Of course. Heat में लौटा. नेहा. कुणाल.
Hi.
रोहित. अमित. Nice perfume, Kunal.
Thank you, sir.
What's happening here? Why are you so quiet? Good morning, princess. क्या
Now
बात है
it's
उसमें
making
नहीं है?
sense.
I'll just see you downstairs, yeah?
लोग तो नोटिस करेंगे. Wildstone perfumes for men.
then Kunal is back makes sense.
So Kunal, okay, लोग तो notice करेंगे.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Idea? I think it's a fuck all idea.
I was trying to find reasons for it to not be.
It's like मतलब in that category, it's been done so many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also bear in mind, this is 8 years back.
No, even then, right? As an 8, I was also circling back then. Axe was not saying anything different. Axe was also saying the same thing.
No, Axe was not playing on people noticing. But the larger game on Deo, men's Deo, is that women will get attracted
To you. Yeah.
Now-
Axe was playing on that.
Correct.
Okay. Wasn't the Old Spice campaign also with that guy?
That black guy.
Yeah.
That's not about women being attracted. That's just about like fucking wild shit ad. Like,
Why should add? But
yeah.
as in, so I think that was also happening around that time only.
Be what your man wants you to be. Some. Yeah, but that trope was a different trope. It wasn't the same.
No, it wasn't. So largely the category is positioned around men's perfume being the source that kind of attracts women. As in,
Yeah.
that's the larger benefit space.
Yeah.
Right? And that's perfumes. And Deos probably also the...
No, same.
So you remember the Rexona world when it came, etc. Then it was like, don't smell bad. As in, that was a different tonality. Deos was, but largely Deos also went down this path only. Yeah. Log to notice karenge.
But as a log to notice karenge, it's a very universal kind of insight. It can go for a car, it can go for like something that you're wearing, whatever, right? And so, but forget about that line for a second. The plot of the film is women. So they're watching a movie together. As in they've gone to see a movie. Young girl, young guy. Young girl says, "Meet my mom," and says hello, and he says hello, auntie, and she says, "Please call me Meenakshi." Yeah. So she smells.
Yeah.
Please call me Meenakshi, and then from that side, her husband is like
The same old uncle.
Yeah. So I think this was the first one, and then the second one, I think
No, you're getting
he's
it wrong.
clearly
The
slept
first
over.
one is the slept with the daughter. The second one is Kunal is back. That is when Kunal first came. This is when Kunal is back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
you got
anyway,
the order wrong.
what I like about this is that assuming that the brand manager said that, you know what, this is the category, we have to play in this category, which sometimes is the brief, right?
Yeah.
We can't go outside this category. For whatever reason, either the MD, the CEO, whatever, doesn't want to step outside the category because this has been
All the
working in
consumer
the...
insight is the largest benefit that consumers want is this.
It's girls smelling
Yeah.
men, whatever. So you can't...
Not girls smelling men. That is not the benefit.
Girls
It's
getting attracted.
girls finding
Yeah.
good, well groomed and
Yeah.
men who smell good
Attractive.
attractive. It's not girls are coming and sniffing around men.
But where this film scores brownie points is they've introduced a recurring character
Yes.
called Kunal.
Yeah.
So that's a nice
It's a good
introduction.
It's a good memory structure.
Correct.
You remember Kunal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voltas did something very similar with that uncle who there was a very kharoos kind of uncle.
Even
in
Onida,
Voltas.
that neighbors and we
Onida.
pride, that guy with
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
There's- Characters usually have a larger shelf life. If you're able to build
Correct.
a good character,
And then suddenly it becomes campaignable. As opposed to
even
one...
5-star, right? Those two,
yeah.
Pappu and whatever. Those two characters.
Yeah. What were their brothers' names?
Pappu and somebody else, whatever. Yeah.
Ramesh and Suresh.
So Cadbury does that.
Yeah. But the larger question here is that this trope of women finding men attractive because of what they smell, is there no end to what brands will... How much juice will you juice out of this? It's done.
Okay, so look at the category context as well. Okay, now 8 years back, there were not too many mid to low price perfume brands in the country. Okay, now today Bella Vita, this, that, Fragnote, bunch of D2C brands. Okay, now the premise has changed completely. Now the category is not talking about women will find men attractive because that's become category baseline. Okay, now what are these brands saying? Hey, I'm going to give you Tom Ford, but for 999 rupees. Okay. Now brands are saying that these perfumes, the design is not built for Indian weather. It's built for colder.
Okay, so then let's do something. Keep talking. Tell me a new brand. In men's deo?
So look at, let's say, Bella Vita, because Bella Vita might be big enough to have made certain ads. Now the category premise has become that that has become category baseline, right? People have understood that, hey, this is why people buy perfume, but now we have to differentiate, right? Now on that differentiation, I think local Indian, whether perfumes being designed for India, that kind of thing has become important. That's what people are talking about. There's also conversation around like getting this very premium fragrance at an affordable price. Which ad is this?
Bella Vita.
Okay, we'll watch this. Okay, so I think one of the larger points is that category evolution also happens that the lower order benefit of the category essentially helps you establish the category.
Correct.
Right? So, for example, and again, I keep coming back to the HFD category because that's where I've done most of my work in marketing. Overall health and nutrition was the plank on which the category got established, right? Overall health and nutrition for children. Historically, coming from the place of India was a malnourished country, not enough macro and micronutrients.
That's where your numbers are going to come in from.
Then once that got established, differentiation came from dimensionalized benefits, right? 2x taller, comp plan. Horlicks got into like stronger, taller, stronger, sharper. Junior Horlicks came said brain development, etc., right? Bonvita though, which always played in the non-core markets of the category, always went behind taste because North and West for the category operated very differently. Their milk was supposed to be gold standard. Bonvita or whatever you put in milk was supposed to make it tastier and more palatable for the child to have, right? Then that evolution also came into the category where they started talking about emotional benefit, taiyari jeet ki, right? And a new way of motherhood, etc., etc. So the taiyari jeet ki mother on Bonvita was very different from the Horlicks mother. So categories evolve like that. Okay, is the articulation lazy? So let's say that the core benefit. Let's assume that there is enough research material which kind of says that men buy, and men being, let's say, unmarried 18 to 30 men. The reason why
they put it to get laid.
They put it to get laid. Okay, let's say that is the core benefit. Okay, I think these are very obvious executions. As in, there is nothing in the narrative, and I'm talking creative execution, right? I'm trying to reference back to 8 years, saying that this is what the category is about today. Number one, I would still question that premise as a good brand person, saying, can I reimagine the category? Can it be about something else? Can I dimensionalize this a little bit? Let's say I don't do all of that, right? Like you said that directive है कि इसी के बारे में बात करना.
Correct.
Are there any surprises in the execution?
No.
None.
But the only surprise is not Rahul. What's his name? Kunal element.
So that's the only sticky point in the execution, right? Even Kunal is back. The moment you see Kunal back and you see the setup, you kind of know that someone will recognize the old Kunal.
Correct.
Right? And for maybe, as in, just because we were looking at it critically, hence we kind of made that connection. But I don't find the creative execution sticky enough. As in, that's where my head is at. On the line, right? Log to notice karenge. There could have been multiple articulations.
Yeah.
There could have been sharper articulations of this.
Yeah.
So let's give Strat the benefit of doubt right now and just focus on the creative, because again, we'll go back to reconstructing the Strat, right? There are questions on the Strat as well. But
what questions are there on the Strat?
No, I'm saying that how can you reimagine attractiveness, right? So I'll give you a great example of a reimagination, right? So there is, again, and linking back to Bella Vita, right? The Bella Vita's founder has launched a ghadi ka brand. Okay, they're selling watches. There is a certain articulation in the creatives of what a guy should be. And he's going behind.
This is what Raymond has done.
So it's a different articulation. Raymond is
the gentleman.
Yeah, so this is a nice guy. Like,
that's exactly what Raymond is.
No, Raymond is not a nice guy.
Yeah,
you
Raymond
don't know whether so you think the guy is a nice guy, but none of the articulate or none of the visualizations of the guy.
What, you're talking about Raymond?
Yeah. Where
the Raymond man is built on a nice guy thing.
Yeah, the persona is that. I'm saying, but you don't see him do nice things. As in, you see him participative in family, etc. He's not going out of the way to do nice things for strangers.
Okay.
Right? As in, I don't remember any creative where that happens, right? So he's kind of spending time with the old grandparent, and it's a family occasion and all of that, right? So you kind of think of him as a gentleman. That is the apt word.
Yeah.
Right? Not the nice guy, right? Like here, I think I remember one of the executions, right? In a lift, and there's somebody standing next to him who farts. He turns around and like I think the person is embarrassed and he says, I'm sorry, you know, and there are other pieces around that. So there's a specific narrative that is getting built because watches are traditionally a very alpha, male, masculine kind of personification. I'm saying, could there have been other inside domains around attraction?
But different slice of attraction.
Different slice of attraction, possibly, which could have kind of just elevated the entire marketing thinking on it. I'm saying not creative, but just the marketing thinking on this. That would still render a very different creative execution. But there are opportunities like that, even in the space of men buy perfumes so that women get attracted. There are other dimensions that you could have added on top of it, just in the
Like,
thinking
I
piece.
was just thinking what I would have done with the brief. Same brief, right? The brief hasn't changed. The fact that you spray it on and girls immediately get attracted to you. Now, traditionally, in this format of advertising, you've seen good-looking guys.
No, Axe also had very nerdy imagery, like a very obviously a guy who obviously would not get laid, but with Axe did. As in a lot of the ads.
No, in India,
yeah, same ads ran.
but international, no.
But similar ads. As in the ads were the same.
So,
Axe was never the alpha man.
yeah, Axe was not the alpha man.
The alpha in the alpha was the Axe.
Yeah,
right? As in it would make a nerd alpha.
Correct.
So it was not that, right? So Axe also did that. As in, it's essentially you are not going to be able to get this woman till you have my product, right? It's not like a good-looking guy without.
Yeah, that's exactly. I missed out. I would have done that only. I
Yeah.
would have like put a very regular.
So
but,
Kunal
like,
is a
ugly.
regular guy, right?
No, he's chocolate boy looks. He's good looking.
Kunal is a regular guy. So okay, so 8 years back, right?
He's a good looking guy, yeah. What's
thing-
his name?
I don't
What's
know.
his name?
I'm not saying he's a bad looking guy. I'm saying it's not the tall, strappy, well built, typical alpha male, right? That's not the personification.
He's chocolate boy.
So this is, and 8 years back, we're talking about which year? We are 2026. So 2018, right? This was the time when I think, I don't know, Ranveer Singh were becoming big, and right. So that was the imagery back then, right? Those guys were like on the rise at that point in time, right? So this is not that persona. This is a regular,
Correct.
regular office goer boy persona.
Boy
right?
next door.
Sweater pehna hai, full sleeve shirt, pants, and that is the persona. So again, they are also on the same premise that without the perfume, you're not getting this girl, and the girl is disproportionately attractive in a corporate setting wearing a short red dress.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm finding it very unimaginative in that sense. As in, you know what I'm saying? The creative execution of this. There's so many layers you can add to this.
Let's see Bella Vita. Let's see what they've done.
So
I already like the first frame.
डियो
हाँ डियो
बच्चे स्कूल नहीं गए ना आज
क्या बकवास कर रहा है तू
होमवर्क फिनिश किया राजू बच्चों को कार्टून दिखाओ जाओ कार्टून देखा है बेटा
तेरी हैंगी तेरी
बैड मैन शैतानी बंद करो वरना अच्छा सुशु आया है फिंगर ऑन योर लिप्स गंदा बच्चा
मैं बच्चा नहीं हूँ मैं बच्चा नहीं हूँ मैं बच्चा नहीं हूँ
एक बेला बेटा परफ्यूम देना और इस बच्चे के लिए चॉकलेट भी ठीक है ठीक
मदरफक
बच्चे बच्चे को बताए कि डियो बच्चे लगाते हैं ग्रो अप स्विच टू बेला बेटा
Long-lasting, luxurious perfumes inspired by the finest Italian formulations.
डियो बच्चे लगाते हैं
स्विच टू बेला बेटा
I love the premise. I love the strat of this. Grow the fuck up from putting Deos is your underlying thought. Kids put on Deos. See, there's a thought of man the fuck up now, which is that phase between when that switch over from 1920 to that 24, 25 kind of there changes that go through every man. So they're clearly targeting that person. And who doesn't want to become a man? Which boy doesn't want to become a man?
Yeah. No,
So from a strat perspective, execution there's nothing not to
So
like.
I think, you know where my head is at? I think this is essentially category expansion because Indian usage of deodorant is not the traditional usage of deodorant.
Yeah, I know.
As in deodorant.
Traditional usage is workout, sweat.
No. Traditional usage of deodorant is underarms
Yeah.
and you're done. Indians spray deodorant everywhere. Okay, so that's that. Now that I think Bella Vita's price range is $499 to $699, right? As in it's on the borderline of deodorant. So you get a good can of deo for about, let's say, $250. The punch up is not that high. This is a category expansion initiative saying that, hey, I'm not competing with other perfume brands. I want to get users.
But this is a mist, or what is it? This is not a deo.
perfume.
Perfume.
I think it's an EDT or a. It's not. I don't think it's an EDP. I don't know, but it could be an EDT. But this is a category expansion. As in that's the brief. As in get new users into the category, right? And hence this. And why I think a lot of this started in this category was because of Fog. Fog. Was,
I remember Fog's advertising.
Yeah, Fog was the first brand which said that
there's air. It's air.
There's air, and
deo.
then as in it's the Fog deo is more spray, and hence consumers kind of transitioned, and Fog became fairly big, right? Fog is a huge.
Fog
brand.
is the one that squirts water.
Yeah, spray.
Yeah,
so
spray.
It's a deo spray. And that's when the category shift started happening, saying that okay, deos don't have to be the fizzy, axy kind of deos. Now from there, this is a ladder up saying that hey, Fog has already got you here. Why don't you stop using deos and use perfume?
Correct. So this is the bridge between someone who uses, let's say, a Fog to someone who's going to start using not cool water maybe, but like
that's more expensive. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any brand which is, or there were any traditional legacy brands in that price point. I think the cheapest decent perfume you could buy was David of Cool Water, with $2,000 a bottle or something.
Cool Water.
Yeah.
Cool Water is more expensive than that.
Now must be.
Now
but back in the day, 2,000 bottle, right?
Yeah.
Cool Water.
Terrific. I love that smell.
Yeah, good smell. But
very good smell.
That was the entry, right? I think that was possibly but I think you could buy some other perfumes cheaper than that, but Cool Water could be the only decent one. Yeah. So the jump from perfume to a deo to a perfume was very huge. All these new age brands have cut that price point, right? So a lot of new people into the category. So from that perspective, it's a great brief, right? As in, it's a very sharp brief. Execution is interesting.
Very good execution. Love that.
Brilliant execution.
Khali kicks ass.
Right? Yeah. And till the end, I was wondering what's.
I've seen it. So
I haven't. So I was wondering where this is going, which to me is a great place for an ad to be.
Yeah.
Right. As in, if I can predict the ad, then I lose interest. Like you remember the link which gave you that interest curve?
Yeah.
In a link, this ad would be like this, as in it would not drop off. Because there's something or the other which is happening. It's a master, what we saw. I think.
But that I can imagine what the 20 also would have been. The 20 will be from the time when this other guy walks into the store.
Or you cut out one or two occasions, right? As in when he says.
20 nahi hoga.
20 नहीं होगा, even 30. As in इसमें 3-4 है ना, he's breaking the table.
Correct.
So it's very templatized like that, right? You cut out one occasion, take out the 5-6 second section, and you'll shorten the ad. Take out one more, keep one, and that becomes your shortest ad.
But this is not a apples to apples comparison of what we saw. Wildstone? No, didn't see Wildstone. What was the ad we reviewed?
We saw Wildstone.
Wildstone. But it's not an apples to apples comparison. An apples to apples comparison would have been with deo to deo. Deo with the same insight of men putting it just to get laid.
No, so think about this, right? 8 years back, so if you just kind of take this back, right? Wildstone had deos, Wildstone had perfumes. It was straddling both, right? One of the reasons why Wildstone couldn't do a deo to perfume was because it would kind of cannibalize its own kind of range, right? As in you don't want Wildstone ka deo and you're shitting on.
No, but tell me something.
Deos.
Wouldn't you be talking to two sets of audiences?
पहले कैसा होता था? TV ad ना back in the day. Even then, as a brand, right? I can't be dissing on my own categories.
No, but there's a way to advertise perfume without dissing on deo. Right?
No, I'm saying this brief. This brief
wouldn't have worked.
This brief wouldn't have worked. Any sort of brief, right? And I don't know the size of the category construct within Wildstone. Whether deo was a bigger business or perfume was a bigger business, I suspect deo. So if I have a 500 crore business, I would not put out an advertising which would decrease this 500 to even 480 and take this to whatever. Right? I wouldn't do that structurally. But now in hindsight, had they made those decisions then, the entry for all these new age brands would have been very difficult, right? Because they had themselves premiumized the consumer. So again, that hindsight is a very difficult thing to do.
Correct, absolutely.
Right? But creative execution, I think very interesting moments, right? The two Tibetan monk kids, right? Suddenly you're like, what's going on? Right?
Yeah, but that's a great hook, right?
It's a great hook.
Yeah.
And then creatively, whoever has done this, brilliant. Khali enters and you're like, okay, why Khali? Then what is it? Dio de.
Huh.
Hai na? And it almost doesn't sound right.
But that's how he talks also.
Yeah. And in your head, you're kind of wondering, is he asking for Dio? Or the Punjabi way of saying ki ye Dio?
Acha.
You know?
Ah.
So that is also a mental piece where you are like, acha, is he actually asking for a deodorant, right? And he does that again and again and again. And then the guy is treating him like a kid,
Yeah. It's hilarious.
which is hilarious.
And even more hilarious is how Khali reacts to that.
Yeah, he's also behaving like a kid,
Yeah.
right? And then in the end, when the guy comes, and that's when. So there's
That
a
penny drop moment is there.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's engaged through and
Yeah.
through.
It's a lovely, it's a well crafted ad.
It's a well crafted ad. Yeah, absolutely. And see, even within the category, right? I think a lot of. So, by the way, there are two things which are happening in the category. As in, we were doing some research on the category. In India, roll-ons is growing massively. Small base, but roll-ons are growing, both for men and women. Roll-ons are growing as a category. Deos are not growing that much, and the cheaper perfumes are growing. Okay, so
Because aspiration is already reached, no?
no, so also now the traditional role of deodorant is moving to roll-on. So the underarm, people are saying, oh, roll-on lasts longer because again, so there is beeswax or whatever, there's longevity there. And I don't need to then spray deodorant on my shirt, I'll just use a perfume. So there's an interesting change in the category as well, which is happening.
Yeah, but also the story was very different 8 years back to what it is right now. People have also evolved with the category.
Yes.
Their needs have evolved.
Yes.
Their aspirations have evolved.
Yes.
Right? And the Indian heartland, the kind of stuff that they could afford back then versus the kind of stuff that they can afford right now, the brands they are seeing all around them. All of that has changed.
Yeah, so also interestingly, right, I think just awareness. Okay? Without social, for a 20-year-old middle class kid to be aware of Tom Ford, right, was very
Would
difficult.
have been very, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a Deo, there's a perfume which is very expensive, etc., etc. Now, social has built that awareness and hence the aspiration. Now, when someone comes and says, "Hey, listen, similar Tom Ford but $9.99,"
Correct.
yeah. So
Which I see those ads regularly
all the time.
now. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even the entire space around, and I don't know whether. So it's a grey line as well, right? As in these.
Same smell, but like
Yeah.
for 1,500 rupees.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I don't understand IP in perfumes, but there possibly is a grey line there whether you can directly kind of copy the fragrance formulation.
No,
or
but
not.
I don't think they're naming the fragrances.
Yeah, they're not, but they're effectively saying that.
They're
right?
showing.
Yeah, they're effectively saying that. I don't understand the IP of it, right? Because brands are doing it, so I'm assuming that they've gone through these checks, right? But why that is working is because you, number one, know the base brand.
No, but also very interestingly, unlike other brands where the brand is visible, here with a cologne, it's not visible. You're applying it at home.
Yeah.
And then you're going out.
Yeah.
Right. So the outside world doesn't know what you're using. You could be using a fake one. By fake, I mean like a regular product that smells like a copy.
True.
No one's going to know.
True.
I think that's a great strategy.
Yeah,
Beautiful
true.
strategy.
So it's the same insight on lab-grown diamonds.
On?
Lab-grown diamonds.
Huh.
Okay. Lab-grown diamonds started out the core category thesis was that people who can't afford regular diamonds will buy lab-grown diamonds. Hence, the average order value of the category is also going to be much lower. Okay. What is happening is that lab-grown diamonds are becoming a part of the portfolio of people who already own diamonds. In India, globally, different dynamic. Globally, lab-grown diamonds have a very sustainability, ethical
Correct.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
dynamic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As in, I don't want to put a ring on my finger, which might possibly
Have
something-
hurt other people.
yeah,
or
blood diamond kind of deal, mining, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's got that angle globally. In India, jewelry is still considered as a investment, like a saving which is given to the
Next
couple,
generation,
the
yeah.
couple, right? As in when they get married, that's when a large percentage of the jewelry gets given. So here, it's still becoming a portfolio play. Like I own 5 diamonds, and I'll buy a couple more lab grown, and there's people won't be able to notice. Hence, larger, bigger solitaires are selling, etc., etc. So that's one way the category is evolving in India. So you're right. And so how? Same thing, right? As in you don't notice whether there's no logo which is saying this is lab grown or not.
Correct, absolutely.
Same thing with
Yeah.
perfume. Yeah. Then the status signaling is the same. That's how that works.
Okay, we should review more ads. I think this is fun.
Yeah. And when we do this next time, we should also talk about what makes a good brief.
We've done this, I think.
Have we?
Yeah. We've done this for, I can't remember, but we've done this.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.